All right, I'm glad we are live already. So we expect a lot of people to be joining us right now. So let me first welcome everyone to this graduation party. So this graduation party is going to be two-in-one event, of course. It's going to be two-in-one event, and we are going to be having, the founder of Precision Field Academy, and we are going to be having the founder of that's DMZ Camp, the platform in which
Yeah.
you guys took your course to join us on this call today. But they'll be joining later. Someone will be joining 1 hour later. Some people will be joining maybe 10 minutes later. All right, so we're having a lot of people join us at the back end. Sharon, if you are watching, just help us by stating your name and where you are joining from. State your name and where you are joining from. If you can hear me, state your name and where you are joining from. So, as I said, that today is going to be two-in-one event, and this event, you guys are supposed to have this event around last week of your course. That's week 5, but because of the speaker has other engagement, which is a physical engagement, so he's not able to join. Shukurat, Shukurat, are you not on premium plan? If you are you not on premium plan, Shukurat, Lamidi, did you check your email? Are you on premium plan? I want to be sure. All right, yeah. Thank you for the private chat. Yeah. So on this call, I have Javan Ominde joining from Kenya, and I have Sharon joining from Democratic Republic of Congo. All right. So thank you for joining Kabirat. Thank you for joining Shukurat. Thank you for joining Abimbola. So let's have more people join. Let's have more people join. Sharon, are you using two platforms to join? Because you are coming up twice. You are showing up twice. So maybe you can just remove one of your your joining platform or your joining device. You can just remove one of them. So Victor, thank you for joining from Lagos. All right. So one thing about every sector in agriculture is that you must be able to understand the technological aspects. And if you don't know how to apply tech in any industry, you can fail faster, or you'll be at the edge of not gaining the larger money. Did you get? You not be at the end of getting the huge money, winning the market, because you will see that startups that have been funded for the last 3 years now are tech startups, regardless the industry. If it is financial industry, it must be a fintech. It's different from banks. Banks are not fintechs, they are not financial tech. Fintechs are, those that like Flutterwave, they are fintechs. Flutterwave that you guys use for payments, they are fintechs. It's different from bank in which you send, you transfer. That's normal activity of bank. But when we talk about making payments easy within from one country to another, that's adding tech to what you are doing. Now, so today we will first understand what are we sent a kind of email across on the top 5 recent innovations in aquaculture recently. And you will see something like remote sensing, you will see something like drone technology. So the person that will be speaking to us in the next 6 minutes, you should join, or in the next 10 minutes, you should join this call, is a drone technology founder, in which is an agricultural technology organization. So this is it. I met this man physically, and I took him to one of our farms to show him around that, okay, come and do a kind of drone overview. Come and do an aerial drone capture for this 5 acres of land farm. And he came and he was talking about, did you know that you can use drone to do topography works on your farm? You can use it to control your feeding, do controlled feeding and all. So okay, so give me some minutes. Let me get back now. Can you hear me, Javan? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So I was talking about the essence of having technology inclined organization or in what you are doing, and it's very important because if you don't have the idea of tech to what you are doing, it may be something like a slimed privilege for you. Why? Because as I said, for the last 3 years, tech organizations has been what? Has been the one being funded over time. Even though you are in the cassava industry, you can do something like, okay, what can I do? How can I introduce tech to cassava purchase or cassava industry to make people come and fund my idea? So one of the things is that we've taught you guys on every practical aspect, different value chains you can enter from all the webinars so far. But then there's also one thing that you can also add to it is how to introduce tech, how to introduce tech to what you are doing. So welcome, Miss Sophie. We have Miss Sophie on this call.
Cannot
Welcome,
hear
Jeremiah. I can
anybody.
see you. Can you hear me? Miss Sophie, can you hear me? All right, so I believe you can hear me. Naimot, welcome from Ibadan. Welcome. So I was talking about introducing tech to what you do. So, for instance, now a lot of you can learn the act of how to use drone technology in aquaculture, and you base on that aspect. Now, I said previously that the person that is coming to join us, Miss Sophie, can you mute yourself? Can you mute yourself? Can you mute yourself so that we can have a smooth conversation? All right, thank you. So I said that, for instance, now instead of you going into, not everybody will go into production, everybody will go into value addition, like maybe processing. You can go into tech. You can learn how to apply remote sensing in aquaculture, and you base on that aspect.
It's plenty.
How to apply, how to
The
apply.
Bluetooth is clear.
Hello, can you hear me? Javan, can you hear me? Confirm.
Yes, yes, I can hear. I can.
All right.
Yes, I can.
So I think Miss Sophie is struggling to hear me. That's right. So for those that are just joining, please just type your name and where you are joining from. Type your name and where you are joining from. So those that you are seeing on board with us, we have Miss Sophie, we have Javan, we have Sharon. These are VIPs from our premium classes, from our premium certificates. So they are on premium subscription with the brand at the moment, and it's going to last for weeks or months in which they are going to be enjoying their premium benefits. And during those period of time, we are going to be introducing about 2 workshop trainings, mentorship, guidelines. We are going to introduce marketing ebook that you can use. We're going to do some kind of industry reviews together. You can ask questions. It's an in-house where we brainstorm together, we discuss on solutions and all, in a way that when you are starting up your business, or for instance, Javan that has his own business as a fish consultant, what you do on GG, we can discuss on how to sell better. What are the strategy you can use next? So that's the advantages for the premium. And those that are just joining, if you are from batch 2 attending this, you can also state that you are from batch 2 so that we can know that you are from batch 2 joining this party at this moment. All right. Okay, other people are joining. I believe we should have more than these numbers of people that have subscribed for premium already. We have a good numbers of them, so I believe they should be joining at this moment. All right. So okay, Victor Usman from Lagos. Okay, Victor Umoren from Lagos. Thank you for joining. Let me just put it back to state your name and where you are joining from. So if you are just coming, state your name and where you are joining from. No need to um, do any other thing for now. Just state your name. I can see Ngozi from Port Harcourt. I can see Diplomacy. Diplomacy, well, that's not your name. Okay, Raji Babatunde from Ibadan. I can see Joshua. Joshua joining from Abeokuta. All right. Thank you, guys. So I was talking about technology because that's the basic aspect. I'm saying it on and on again so that you can understand that in this age that we are, which we call the tech age, we must be able to adapt to tech. And I can tell you that a lot of people in Africa, they are just aware about tech. Not everybody can use tech. And how do we know that? When we started out this scholarship, we tested a platform for everyone that wants to come in. And the platform is what? The Slack channel. The Slack channel. So when we brought out the Slack channel, a lot of people were not able to join. A lot of them were not able to join. So after 3 days that we see that people are struggling to come into Slack channel, either because of their device or either because they don't know how to use the platform or navigate well on the platform. So what we needed to do is to change the platform totally. So we needed to change the platform totally to Telegram and WhatsApp because we see that that is much adaptable by people at this time and in this age is much adaptable, no doubt. And before we have most of our speakers joining, they are also in a meeting. That's why they are not joining now. We will have a session called, I believe those of you that received the email, you saw where you are going to talk about how your journey has been so far and what are you planning to tell the second batch that are coming, what will be your advice, how can you advise them to go through the course so that they also can be successful. All right, Becky Bright, thanks for joining from Ogun State. Thanks for joining. So this is going to be interactive because I am happy so much now. I also have my team member here. I have one of my team member here, and we have one of our team members, both of our team members at the front end, while some at the back end. So let me start with Javan. Let me start with you. What has been your experience so far for the past 6 weeks? So let me take it on from Javan first. Then after some session of speaking, then we come back to the technological aspect, how to use that. So I'm just giving you a summary now, but then the speaker is coming to elaborate more on that. So Javan, how has been your week so far? Like the 6 weeks, what was your challenge? What was your expectation? Did the course meet your expectation? What will be your plan afterwards? So go ahead, I'm listening to you.
Okay, thank you. So
You're welcome.
has been quite smooth. One because I was already learning what I already know most of it. I didn't find it difficult. The course was very simple, straightforward to understand. They everything was summarized. Like some a topic in less than 1 minute. That's that was very interesting. So challenges that I had to see what I would say that that's not a very important issue. Yeah. Now, whatever I will be telling the next batch to join, who will be joining, is to uh, be ready to be people who are tech savvy, because a lot of challenges that are coming from the members who are majorly technology and navigating through the website. Uh, Missing the first lecture on how to use the website is not a very good idea, because that is where everybody learns something. Now, so they will need to be able to embrace the technology. Also, they need to do their courses in time. Uh, it's very simple. Uh, you, you can take maybe an hour of your day, and maybe you'll be even done with 50% of the course. You can even take 30 minutes. There's no restriction, but you don't have to wait for the last minutes time to do the course, and you can also do it anywhere. Yeah, that's also another advantage. You could take maybe 10 minutes if you are at work. 10 minutes you can view maybe two lessons, because the lessons are going for not more than minutes. Yeah. I would advise them to take some 20 minutes break if they're really busy at work. Do maybe a course, and also the assignments and the quizzes. They need to be aware that the quizzes need to be done on time, especially before the week ends. Then again, I need them to pay attention very closely, because there are a lot of uh, lecture that is not in the PDF that is being used for the study. Yeah, so they need to pay very keen attention, because they may miss a lot of things if they don't listen carefully to what is being said by the tutor. Yeah. So what was the next thing I was supposed to do? Uh, um, I think I feel like I'm leaving something out. What were the topics? What was the challenge?
Okay,
Uh,
what's your challenge? Yeah, what did you face? What was your own challenge, personal challenge? Did you face any
uh,
challenges at all, moving ahead?
no, I didn't face any challenge. The late submissions that I did were just maybe because I didn't get enough time to be able to sit down and do the work itself. But at least I was able to submit my quizzes in time. Yeah. Yes.
All right, thank you very much, Javan. I think that's much elaborate. It talks about, you have to do your courses on time. Why? Because we made it very flexible. I love the fact that you were able to talk about the flexibility of the course. That is, no restriction. You can take it anywhere. You're inside the bus, you can take it. You're in your bedroom, you can take it. You know, find any place comfortable for you. Sit down with the course, learn, and if you have your notes, take your notes and all. So for this batch, we've already promised that we are going to send your learning course, your PDF across. We are going to be doing that very soon. We are going to be doing that very soon. Yes. So we are going to be sending your learning materials across to you so that you can go over them again, can go over them on and on again. All right. So let me hear from Miss Sophie. Mrs. Sophie, can you hear me? Mrs. Sophie, can you hear me? Mrs. Sophie, can you hear me? Check if you are not muted. I can't hear you. Check if you are not muted. Javan, help me. Can you hear her?
No, I can't hear. She may be muted. I can see her
Check.
struggling to speak.
Are you sure you are not muted? All right. So let's move ahead to Sharon. Sharon, can you speak now? Maybe we'll come back to Miss Sophie. Sharon, can you speak now? Hello, Sharon. If you can hear me, can you speak now? Okay. Send a message. Send a private chat to me on this call. If you can't, on this video live now, you can't, just send a private message to me. So I'll be expecting your message. So thank you very much for that, Java. And you said a lot. I mean, a lot. So, Miss Sophie, this is what you can do. You can try to log out and join back. Maybe when you try to sign out and join back, you will be able to use your voice. Can you speak now?
Okay. Are you hearing? Hello?
Yeah, I
Can you
can
hear
hear
me
you
now?
now. Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, I can. Thank you very much.
Uh,
All right, so how's been
Okay.
your
Good
course so
evening.
far for the past 6 weeks? Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. I'm Mrs. Sophie Samuel Agu. Yeah, my course for the past 6 weeks, right, has been very interesting, educative. I really gained a lot. I learned a lot about the aquaculture. Yeah, I've been looking for this opportunity, and it just came as at a very good platform through one of my mentors. Whew. Ah!
Don't mind that, she's a nursing mother. You can't fight that. Okay, thanks for joining, Mr. Femi. I'm really excited to have you right here on this meeting with us. So we have our speaker, that is the founder of Value Precision and the founder of the team lead at PFA, which is Precision Field Academy, that deals with drone technology, remote sensing, GIS, and all. So he's going to be taking us through drone technology, you know, maybe other technological innovations in aquaculture that we can relate with, that we can use to, innovate ourselves, that you can come into. As I said earlier from the beginning of the call, that there are a lot of value chains in any sector, especially in the agricultural sector. You don't have to go into the production aspect. You may not be at the processing aspect. There are parts that you can come into the tech aspect, learn remote sensing, learn drone technology from PFA. You can subscribe to their community to learn more. So he owns a very large community of over 500 learners in Precision Field Academy. So you can join those platform. If you want to join those platform, you can send a message to me after now to join them. All right, sir. So we give you the stage to speak about your topic, sir. Thank you very much. So much privilege to have you.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Just a minute, please. I want to try to,
Share your
if I
screen,
can
right?
upload. Yes.
All right.
All right. Loading.
If it's ready, I can add it when it's ready.
Oh yeah. It's if you look at your screen, it's still processing.
Okay. Okay, I can see it now. I'm adding it already.
All right. So hello everyone.
Hello, everyone.
I can hear a real call. Please you can mute if you're on the studio.
Yeah, I
Okay. Are
can
we
hear you,
good?
sir.
All
Yes,
right. It's like there's a real call somewhere. Maybe there's somebody logging twice.
exactly.
Okay. Thank you so much for actually having me. Wonderful that you are doing. with aquaculture, capacity building, and I mean it's quite interesting. So today, guys, I am I'm not an aquaculture specialist, and I must confess to you. Um, but I'm not without a little bit of experience and exposure when it comes to um, fish farming and some other kind of aquaculture cultivation, aquaculture or aquatic species cultivation. So, so my name is Femi Adekoya. They call me the Flying Farmer. Samuel actually introduced. I I lead Precision Feed Academy. I'm the vision lead of Precision Feed Academy, where our goal, our vision is to raise the next generation of tech inclined and digitally savvy farmers and agricultural professionals. And we also have a startup, a commercial drone service provider here in Nigeria that is integrated area precision, an award winning company that we are spearheading precision agriculture and providing drone technology services to African farmers, helping them to farm better, smarter, and more profitably. So I would like to confirm if you can hear me and if I can actually proceed with my lecture. Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you. You can proceed, sir.
All right.
So
Good.
if you
Good.
can
Good
hear, you
one.
can just type. You can hear us. Just type it in the comment section that you can hear us. Chisom, everybody, Stanley, you can just type that you can hear us from your end if you can hear us. So you can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Awesome. Okay. Okay. So thank you so much. If you can confirm that you can hear me, so I will just proceed further. Yeah, like I said, aquaculture. I'm not here to actually define what aquaculture is. So someone has actually called me here to just share with you kind of a bit of my understanding and exposure when it comes to application of technology in the field of aquaculture. And so let us dive into it. First, let me share my experience. I don't know what aquaculture means to you. Uh, and I'm a fan of scale. I'm a fan of, I mean, I'm always intrigued when I see things that are big. I love big things. And I was actually surprised when we were actually called by a farm, and that's an aquaculture farm. From the picture, you can see, that's you can. It seems that you cannot see the end of the farm from even where I was actually taking a picture. And I was actually taking this picture from a pedestal I mean, a height of about 10 meters, about 10 meters away from the pond surface. And that was how I was taking the picture from, so that you can see that I wasn't actually taking the picture at the ground level. Now, um, it's actually an 80 hectares farm. And guess what they actually produce there? They produce prawns. If you know what prawns are, right? So I want to believe you know what prawns are. So prawn is actually one of the aquatic species that, apart from fish, many of you are familiar with sectors like this for tilapia, catfish, and some other fish species, that we have or that are actually domesticated. So yeah, we also have other stuff that if we were, so imagine having an 80 hectare farmland, and guess what? Each average size of each pond, like each pond, you know what I mean by pond, the square or the rectangular demarcation for each, the management unit is actually average of 1 hectare. some pond ranges, it ranges between 0.75 to 1.5 hectare. So that is actually something massive and something big, So, and I also feel that I believe that that is actually the kind of farms or aquaculture enterprise that you are hoping to actually build on, or to build rather, to start and to, or perhaps to grow to be in your endeavor. So I mean, it's actually they do their prawn process feed, and it's so interesting that I was kind of inspired. So yeah, what are we called to come do? You know, on this field as a drone service provider, you know, they reached out to us because they want to actually do renovation of some part of the farm to ensure that drainage system is actually proper. And when we talk about drainage, it's more of an engineering work. So we had to actually help them to map the land and provide them with a topographic mapping, or topographic map. There's something it is that is called uh, cut and join, or cut, yeah, cut and join. It's a topographic exercise that you would have to level the plane so that there will be free flow of water. You will level it such that there will be a constant slope, and that water can freely go. There will not be um like fast exit of water, but it can actually leave. The water can actually leave at a rate that is desirable, and also it is not stagnant, in terms of, you want to change water, or you want a circular water flow into your pond, replenishing the ponds. And I feel that we have a lot of aquaculture students and experts here, so you understand what I mean. So how can they actually set that up on a 80 hectares land? So mind you, 1 hectare means 10,000 meters square. So 1 hectare means uh 1 hectare means, if I put that in kilometer, um, so for that 80 hectares right there, that's about 8 kilometer stretch in terms of length, 8 kilometer stretch farm, you know. So that's because 10 hectares in on the length. The length would mean that you have 1 kilometer. So 80 hectares means you have 8 kilometer, stretch of the farm. So how can they actually manage the irrigation, sorry, the drainage system, so for it to actually flow rightly? So we are actually called to actually come to map with drones, because this is actually one of the things I'm going to be exposing you to in terms of advancement in the aquaculture world from our own perspective. So you would have to forgive me. I know there are a lot of technological advancements in aquaculture. These things might not be something hard for you to know. There is automated feeding systems, circle, what do you call this thing? Like a circulating aquaculture system. There are a lot of names that you call them. Um, yeah, to precision aquaculture, there is actually precision aquaculture, which actually involves the use of some technologies just to ensure that there is precision in your aquaculture enterprise, ensuring that you are actually using less to get more. You are actually being specific, site specific application. Um, you are actually providing feed to your fish in an optimal manner, and all that. So there is actually genetic improvement of biotechnology. I know some of you might know about biotechnology. These are actually technological advancements in the field of aquaculture. We now have someone invited me one time to a farm called Sedge Farms in Lagos, and yeah, I was able to see new species. And I mean, I feel that these species are not, they didn't fall down from heaven. You know, some person have actually sat down to actually do the engineering, perhaps through genetical engineering or whatever genetic improvement exercise that you may employ. So either selective breeding and all that. So there are a lot of technological advancements from, and also, there is there are a lot of them, okay, but I will be focusing on, I would just be spotlighting drone technology in aquaculture. And yeah, you would see the different kinds of drone technology, particularly as I share. Uh, as I share. So now, how do we use drone technology in um, aquaculture? So I was actually explaining the other time from my example that from my experience on a farm, I said is a prawn farm. I mean, Yoruba would call it a bay, So a prawn farm, and that's actually an aquatic species that is actually being cultivated on that farm at that scale. And I also wonder some farms that could actually have that on that size, doing catfish and all that, exporting. So how do you want to actually imbue technology? Now, to actually establish this fact, talking about technology is not just about for the fancy. It's not just about for the rave. We are now living in a technological world. But there is a saying that says when the purpose of something is not known, um, what is inevitable? I mean, the abuse is inevitable. So why technological innovation in aquaculture? Basically, it's just we have technology today, and because we want to make our lives better, we want to actually optimize our production. We want to actually we do not we want to get more from our less. We do want to shorten the time we actually use to actually get some tasks done. These are actually the reasons or the objective of us coming up with new methodologies, new technology, innovation to actually impact our work, our lifestyle, and all that. So that's actually the reason why we have technology, and that's the reason why you need to actually pay attention to technology in aquaculture as an aquaculturist, scientist, researcher, farmer that you are. You need to actually pay attention in this 21st century because that is actually what is changing the game. It's a game changer. Now, in terms of aquaculture and fishery management, I was saying the other time that we were actually called to map the farm. So what we do is to actually fly the drone um, over a field. I'm not sure if some of you have actually seen what drones are, but I believe many of us might have seen what drones are. But I'm going to show some pictures going forward. So drones that can actually help us to map are drones that are fitted with cameras that we can collect images of the field. And or not only images, we can actually collect lidar image. Lidar is actually a type of sensor that helps us to actually detect that gives us ability to access topographies, terrains, thick forest, water body, and all that. So we have that. So the drones can actually be fitted. So what we did was to map the field, and then we process the data, and we are able to give them, oh, this is how this place is slopey. So looking at this level the land terrain, okay, you need to actually there's a report at the end of the day. You need to actually fill this quantity, this volume of soil or stone or whatever to actually cover this place up to ensure that there is this constant slope to ensure proper and free flow of water. So we were able to do that. So you can, apart from topographic mapping, getting an understanding of the topography of a place or the terrain of a place, you can also use drone technology to be able to know the size of your pond or the size of your farmland. The size. Sorry, something is cracking over there. Can you help me mute your mic? So you can be able to map the land and actually get a boundary or perimeter, a perimeter dimension, okay, the perimeter, the area of the farm, or perhaps individual points. Instead of taking tape rule to begin to measure, you can be able to do that through you can be able to do that. Sorry, I can still hear the sound. It's distracting. Thank you. So you can be able to actually take this measurement to drone mapping. So I would also go to the next point, which is another aspect in fishery management, which is feed distribution. Be if you are actually raising fishes or prawns or whatever aquaculture species that you are actually raising, it's very critical that you have to feed them, of course. So, and I know that many of these feeds are actually made into pellets. So, but the question is, imagine having an 80 hectares of farmland, or perhaps even 1 point, which is 1 hectare. Um, how easy will it be for you to actually feed? So yeah, drone technology like this, if you can look at the picture below on the screen, you will be able to see that there is actually something underneath the drone that is actually scattering something, right? So that's actually a granular pellet. Of course, pellets are in granules. So fitted into you pour them into this hopper, and there is actually a disc roller or a rotator that rotates at a constant speed, that you can actually set. And as the drone flies over the field, sorry, over the pond, you can be, it keeps rotating and keeps dispersing your fish pellets, and your fish can be able to eat instead of you carrying 50 kg bag or 25 kg bags. You can be able to sit down at the comfort at the edge of your field, perhaps under a tree, perhaps somewhere just visible that you can autonomously, the drone goes there. That is actually what is happening presently. We also have this solution for farmers. So you can be able to spread this your fish pellets or even every other granular material you would like to spread, be it maybe limey material, because I know limey material most of the time comes in powdery forms, or granules. So you can also be able to scatter such agro inputs into your ponds. You can be able to set that, and this is actually at scale, ensuring that you are able to practice aquaculture at scale that makes sense, business scale that actually commands profit. You can be able to tap into economies of scale, and that's actually my desire. I don't, nobody wants to actually remain small, right? So if you have actually started, the vision is to actually, have a farm like which is 100 hectares. You are not wholly feeding Nigeria, but you are also exporting. By the way, the farm I mentioned are not selling most of their stuff in Nigeria. You know, they actually process and export immediately, overnight export. So, and that could actually be a source of forest of foreign exchange to our national economy, or and so yeah, so this is actually some of the technology that you need to actually be paying attention, knowing about, like, okay, I can be able to use this to actually get. I mean, imagine having 80 hectares of farmland. How many workers do you want to actually employ? How many kg of feed you want to actually carry per day? How, even if it is motorable, how you remember we are in Nigeria, the petrol fight, there's no fuel subsidy again. So some of you are buying actually close to 600, So how are you able to save cost? That is actually what you're thinking, as a farmer, to actually do all of this. So this is actually very, very key and important to be able to use, because I know that feeding is actually one of the major activity when it comes to aquaculture. And fishery management. Okay, so yeah, to the next. So yeah, and I know that when it comes to um, aquaculture management or fishery management, we are talking about water here. Just like air is as important to humans, you want to at least you can smell. That's what God has given to us. You can smell. You can be able to monitor. You can assess the quality of the air. Is it dusty? Is it foggy? Is there carbon monoxide? Are there fumes? You know this. You can be able to monitor and assess the water quality. So, in terms of water quality and also water level monitoring, you can actually do that with drone technology. Yeah. because you can be able to when you fly your drone or with the help of drone service provider, you can know, okay, last month, how what is the water level of this pond. Maybe you have actually integrated your pond with sea level or perhaps with a river. You want to actually monitor this river, so that it will not overflow, and affect your farm. You want to actually monitor, so you can be able to keep your eyes on that level. So if the water was actually low before, and now it's getting rained and it's actually high, but how do you know? It's not easy to actually access with your physical eye. So, but with technology like drone technology helping you collect data, you can be able to process that information and understand the level of the water level. And now to water quality, I think, let me just go to the next slide. Yeah. So this is actually a drone, typical of DJI 6 M600, fixed with a payload, a water sampler, water sampling container. That pink stuff is actually fitted with it. So you can, no matter how big your farm is, or perhaps you're actually doing your aquaculture, integrating it in a cage, in a water body, in a already existing water body, or you are just a aquaculture consultant who is about to advise place like Lagos State. You want to actually collect water sample, maybe in the wild. It's not necessarily that you do aquaculture, but maybe in the wild you want to actually monitor the water at different spots, but it might be risky for you to actually take a boat there. Of course, it might not be economical for you to actually, but with drone technology, you can actually fly to the particular coordinate on the water body, knowing where you need to, or you have actually scheduled to actually, you can actually send the drone down there, and you go deep. The drone doesn't need to actually enter into water. Of course, at least you can see how um the auger is made. This seems like an auger. There's what we call soil auger as farmers who actually farm, to actually collect what soil samples. So this is similar to water auger, if I put that way. So you can actually collect samples at different points. You collect and you send back, perhaps autonomously or manually, and then you take it to the lab. You analyze the water. You can be able to get some information that you need, and I know that some of the informations you need from water monitoring could be uh, the dissolved oxygen or pH level of the water. These are actually critical when it comes to aquaculture management. You know, so yeah, farm monitoring is also something that you can actually do with drone technology. I actually explained the other time. You can map, you can get the awareness of your farm through drone technology, because you can actually see from an above perspective, an area view can actually give you more insight into what is going on. And also talking about water assessment or monitoring, there's what we call turbidity. Of course, some of you might know what turbidity, is. In a layman term, how clear is the water? How clear, or I mean, the degree of the clarity of in the water. So is the water dirty, quote and unquote? Is the water at a very good, turbidity level that would ensure that your plants are actually thriving. You can also still use drone technology to monitor algae growth. Algae growth, in this sense, mean, algae are actually phytoplanktons, on the on water bodies, which are beneficial to your food, to your crop, to your fish. If you are actually doing netting pond, or they are actually good. Your fish can actually, but you can actually monitor the growth, is are they over or actually below. So you can actually do that with drone technology, because it gives you a comprehensive view. Okay, so now enough of area talks and or should I? Okay, I think there are still some other thing I wanted to actually make mention of. Um, is that okay? Okay, let me just go straight to the next, which is underwater drones. Yeah, drones are not only on the air. I mean, in the air, it's drones can actually be on unmanned aerial vehicles, and they can also be underwater. Some call it ROV. So these are actually, you can see, these ones do not have an exposed propeller. Of course, they have propellers. That is how they navigate inside water. And so, what can you actually do with this? Perhaps you might. I mean, this is for me. This looks more. This is of great importance when it comes to having a closer look. Okay, at what is going on inside the water. You know, we've been talking about above in terms of mapping, mapping the farmland, topographic mapping, understanding the size or the dimension of your farm, monitoring of your farm, knowing the security level, or knowing about what is going on. You know, maybe fish movements. You want to feed your fish. You know, through area means. You know, now talking about monitoring them under the water because fish live under the water. You know, all right. So there are actually technological advance innovation for you to actually do this, which are actually the underwater drones. So, what can they actually avail to you as an aquaculturist? You know, what can they actually do for you? So they can actually help you to efficiently monitor, you know, the your fish closely in terms of real time. They can actually be under the water. You know, maybe you are in your office, you are actually looking at. It can help you to track mortality, or help you to track a level of cannibalism because it's just like you are also under the water with your fish, you know. So what you cannot actually do naturally, you know. So you are actually on the drone is the underwater drone is there for you, and you can be able to remotely sense either visually or through specialized sensors carried by these underwater drones. You can be able to know some level of details. You know, you can also be able to know the turbidity also, how clear is your water, how clean is it, monitor algae growth. You can also be able to assess fish health, which is actually very, very important. Know what kind of disease is actually happening there in terms of behavior. Of course, like I said, I'm not actually an aquaculture expert, but Samuel, we know how this will relate to it relates to him or to every one of you who are actually aquaculturists. You know, you can I know one thing for sure is that because they cannot talk, we actually observe them, right? So you can be able to use this underwater drone, having a presence inside the water and observe your fish. What's the behavior like? Is there something wrong? Is there illness? You know, is there an outbreak in, or perhaps there is, maybe you have an eating pond, or sorry, yeah, maybe an eating pond or a constructed pond, something broke underneath that you cannot see from above. How can you actually monitor? Is there a leakage somewhere? You know, this technology gives you access to actually be live, you know, seeing what is actually happening beneath the water. And I know that many of you might be thinking, I mean, some more ways you can actually explore this technology. So, guys, I would stop here and for questions and answer. Thank you so much. Samuel, over to you. Hello. I want to see questions. If you have questions, I can actually. Um, thanks so much. Okay.
All right, all right. So I just had to remove that one from screen so that I can come up to speak. I believe me speaking from the back end, you were not able to hear me the other time.
Mm,
All right. Yeah. So I was able to, write out some point line about six innovations, that we have been introduced to today. And the one is, we have been introduced to drone technology actually. And this is drone technology, the use of drone technology in about one, two, three, four, five areas in aquaculture. Five areas in aquaculture. And the first one is the underwater drones. That's where it stopped. Okay, I think it's four. It's four, but I wrote something around, monitoring is used to monitor and all. We have water sampling, water level, we have water leveling, we have feed distribution and all. So it's right time to ask your questions on anything you don't understand. So I would like you to drop your questions now in the comment section so that you can answer that for us before we move on to the next thing. So you can ask your questions now. Ask your question. Do you have any question? Please drop it in the comment section. So I'm going to give 3 minutes to that for you guys to drop your questions. If you can hear me, just type you can hear me so I can be sure that you can hear me from your end. All right, Javan, thank you. You can hear me. Well, I need. All right. So if there's no other question, if there's no question, so let me just ask my own question from my end. For instance, now for someone that is new or just learning or just hearing about aquaculture, what would be your advice to the person about maybe going to the technological aspect of the application of tech to aquaculture? What is the area they can enter easily? What is the cost and how can they go about that?
Come again with the question, please.
All right, so I asked the question that, for instance, maybe I'm new to tech applications in any industry, just like aquaculture now. So, what area do you advise from what you have listed that they can do easily, and the costs? What will be the costs, and how did they get in? How did they get involved in this? How did they get involved in this? Get themselves going? Are there places that are physical that they can go and learn or join, or so something around that?
Okay, there are vast amount number of like mentioned in during my webinar, I mean the lecture rather. Um, there are quite a number of technological innovations that could interest you to go on with. Now, what I would just advise you to do is start gaining knowledge, and I think that's why you're here. Okay, start building knowledge, identify technologies that are actually changing your industry, and then even start identifying the ways that you can um, acquire knowledge to be relevant with those technologies. You know, so focus on one. Start find out where you can actually get physical training or perhaps internship that can actually help you to gain knowledge and develop your skill, which is actually very important. So I think that would be my advice to anyone who is looking at building skill, technology skill. Um, if um, if if there are a lot of tech skills that are actually applicable even to aquaculture or whatever field that you are. Your assignment is to actually know what tech technology is actually revolutionizing my area of interest and how can I develop this skill. How you can develop this skill means that you've been able to identify the skill first and you are open to knowledge. we now live in an information world. I mean, or perhaps we can even call it information overload. So go on YouTube, go online, now begin to find, okay, what about this? You've heard about drone technology today. I mean, start start by researching about how drone technology could be used further. I know that my presentation today has actually perhaps impacted you, and inspired something in you. So get started. Don't stop, because it is very very key. So and as you do that, you're building your knowledge base, and you also finding opportunity to actually express this knowledge, to actually put this knowledge into practice. Seek to put it into practice. You could actually start by stuff by yourself, you know. And guess what? Even in nowadays, artificial intelligence is now very important in the field of aquaculture. Maybe you can actually take interest in artificial intelligence, start by understanding what artificial intelligence is. How can you then apply it into aquaculture? Computer vision,
All
you
right.
know, okay, was that Samuel?
All right. Yes, yes, it was. It was. You can continue, sir. You can continue.
All right. So you can actually, I was talking about artificial intelligence. You can actually start begin to build knowledge. When it comes to artificial intelligence, you can actually be the aquaculture expert with specialty in artificial intelligence. So when we talk about drone technology, images are data, and there is no artificial intelligence without data, right? So how can you actually train your artificial intelligence model, machine learning model, to be able to recognize images of fish, differentiating? Maybe you have a lot of fish in a pond, or fishes in terms of species, you know, uh, even without being there, maybe an underground um, drone, I mean underwater drone. You can be able to, like, when you see, okay, automatically it can be able to identify this is a tilapia, this is this kind of species. You can be able to check the population, also the population, maybe the population density in that water body. These are the things that we can actually. The question is, how can we actually apply technology, either digital technology or hardware technology, into what we are doing to make our lives better? I think I think that's actually good.
Thank you very much, sir. I think we're having a lot of questions now, so maybe you can just reduce your time rate of answering them so that you can meet up. I don't know if you have other schedules, but so that I don't know your schedule. Maybe you are still having other meeting by now, but then we have quite the numbers of questions already. So the first one is, what's the minimum size or minimum pond capacity that drone can be used? Drone needs to be used. Is there a minimum size? Maybe it has to be on a one plot and all before you can use a drone.
Well, I would not say one plot. I would not also give size, but I think if I give you an information that drones can actually can actually broadcast or spread about 1.5 tons per day of fish feed or whatever input. So imagine the kind of um, farm you would have to actually optimize that. I mean, the efficiency of drone. So you can actually, depending on your objective, even on a one plot area of farmland, I mean, you can actually even use drones to take the scenery of the farmland. I mean, so even on 1 hectare of land, you can actually use drone, of course. So, but the the size that justifies um, the usage is actually what I might not be able to give you an accurate answer to, but I've actually used an example from my presentation. Okay, so I guess I mean you understand what I mean. You can actually, depending on your resources, you can actually use drones in any size of pond, but it becomes more economical as you actually go bigger.
All right, thank you very much. I believe Bello Abdullahi, you should be able to note that answer already to your question. Should be able to note that answered already. So the next one is for someone who wishes to use stream water. All those you say you talk about water sampling. Can it also be applicable to that? Those gadgets, can it also be applicable to stream water? You know, they are checking the kind of water that you are showing in those pictures is not looking like maybe stream water. Can it also be applicable to stream water also?
Yeah, of course, it's actually applicable to stream water. It just depends on your objective for water sampling. It's very, very applicable. Very, very applicable. So all that you want to actually use the drone or whatever is to collect water, right? And you go ahead to go and do some proximate analysis to understand the pH, the dissolved oxygen, and some other things that you are interested to actually analyze. I think you can actually use it.
All right. So talking about drone, someone wants to know if it is affordable for small scale farmers in Nigeria. Want to know what's the
Oh,
pricing and all.
okay. There are different kinds of drone, and affordability is relative, of course. So, what is small to Dangote might not be small to me. So, small is relative, affordability is relative. I think that's the way I can put that question. So maybe you would actually have to define your budget range depending on your budget. But of course, yeah, I think that should answer that question.
All right. So yeah, we have another question that says, while using underwater drones, won't the fish be affected?
Uh, no, why would the fish be affected? I'm just wondering. Maybe there's actually an expert opinion that I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, it has no any effect on the fish, because the drone is actually under the water doing its own thing, navigating through. Okay, for example, those divers who go into water bodies and I mean or study diving, are they actually affecting the water? I mean, I actually don't see what you are saying, but from my own perspective, and from practical perspective, uh, even otherwise, it's actually helping the fish so that you can be able to monitor them and help them.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. We have the next question, though. I think I should take this because this is not related to the topic. It said, if a pond is about 1 hectare, how is the harvesting process done? Yes. When you have a large hectare of pond like that, they go on canoe. That's why you have canoe, you have boats, you have mini boats that you can use to do your harvesting. So those mini boats will be large enough. That means you are expected that the height level of your pond is so deep to the extent that it can, displace the canoe on the water. So if you, for the likes of Obasanjo farm, you have Obasanjo farm manager come take us the previous webinar we have, and they have a very large water body of pond. So those kind of stuff you have to go on canoe, you have to go on different kind of devices to do your harvesting process. So that is that about that. All right, so we have another question. Say, for startups in aquaculture industry, how do they venture into this technology? I think we've talked about that already. How the drone technology works? Is it electronically operated or what? So I think
Yeah, it
that
is. You're
question is
right.
for you.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. They're mostly electronically operated, powered with battery. So yeah.
All right, they are powered with battery. You can hear that. So we have what can you say about drone technology development in Nigeria to local farmers in modern agriculture? Is that question clear to you? Drone
Local
technology
farmers.
development, yeah, to local
Mm,
farmers, yeah.
okay, I think your point is I think it's clear, or I would assume that I understand very well. Uh, yeah, this is actually why integrated air appreciation. My company is actually pioneering and spearheading growth um, in across the country, bringing the benefit of drone technology and the awareness of drone technology across to farmers. And when there is awareness, sure there is actually that's actually a level of development. So and also we are also providing services. But our vision is to actually we have a dream of that drone technology will become a common tool in the hands of farmers. So, I mean, in not too far future. So, I believe that the development is actually taking shape. It is evolving, and we are actually leading. And that is actually why we are here. We're discussing this. And perhaps some of you might actually have the opportunity to begin to use drone technology on your farms. That is actually part of the development. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, sir. We have another question. What major aspect of aquaculture can drone technology be applied? I think that has been answered. And how can this skill be developed? And how can it boost productivity or profitability? Okay, yeah. You're asking about the profitability now, the productivity of aquaculture business. How does it boost the productivity or profitability in aquaculture business?
Okay, productivity. Let me take you back to the example I gave about feed distribution using a spreader system, mounted on a drone. And I've actually analyzed it by saying, for example, the 80 hectares of farmland. How many workers did you imagine that they will have to actually feed their fish every day? Now, this is why we're actually talking about technology, and in a world that labor is scarce. It's true, we are growing in population, but labor remains scarce for um, for agriculture, for aquaculture also. So what can you do? You need to actually bring in technology to ease your work and to actually ensure that you reduce the amount of labor you have per time. So if you can be able to do that, number one, it means that you are able to save your enterprise from labor labor shortage, which might affect your activity. And number two, you are able to actually use this method to actually deliver work more efficiently. I just mentioned in some of my answers that you can actually spread about 1.5 tons of material, of granular material, with drone per day. I mean, that's just only one drone. And of course, so can you quantify the impact of that to your business? So imagine somebody is carrying 50 kg or 25 kg feed from one point down to so kilometers, or perhaps you want to actually drive down the petrol that you are burning and all that you are burning. So this is actually why. So you have to quantify that impact in economic terms. So to actually see. So productivity, I've actually stated that. That's just an example of spreading your fish pellets, or so. So uh, lot more. Talking about mapping, topographic mapping, you actually understanding your terrain helps you to actually not have issues when you're actually trying to do drainage. You want to harvest. You do drainage most of the time when you want to harvest, right? So when you want to harvest, you have to drain the water so that you can actually get harvest your fish or your aquaculture as aquatic species easily. So you just have to quantify the impact. Yeah. The next question, please.
All right, so we have this question: drones with water sample collection payload. Is it possible they collect this water sample at once in a single flight, or will the process be repeated severally before the samples can be collected?
Well, depending on design, but the design I showed on the screen, you have to actually collect it one after the other. That means it is actually one water sample jar that you have. So depending on what you want to actually do, you might actually collect them in the all together. But do you want to mix what, like you are mixing the soil here with another soil here? How are you sure that this is the quality of what you are doing there? So you have to do it one after the other. But um it depends on what you actually want to, why you are sampling, the objective of your sampling. So I guess that should answer that question.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So, we have just this is the last question. What is the
Okay.
cost effectiveness of using the drone technology in aquaculture farm? That's a question. Then, what's the cost of procurement and operation of this technology? Two. Then, can a small fish farm use the technology? The cost
Well,
effectiveness of using this drone
I
technology.
guess
We
I
have
guess
the cost
I
of
guess
procurement.
these questions been answered in a way have been answered in a way. Can a small farm use drone? I've actually mentioned that you can actually use depending on your pocket. Okay. Depending on your pocket and the cost effectiveness. I mean, I think this person actually asked the question previously, so I want you to actually relate the productivity to cost effectiveness when something is actually so. It is cost effective. It is cost effective. So the question is, if you buy a tractor for your farm, is it cost effective? So it's actually dependent on you. I mean, your size of your farmland, the production cycles that you're actually doing. Um, so it's not first about the drone. It's about it's not first about the technology. It's about you using the technology in a way that is actually in a cost-effective manner. So I hope I answered that question.
Yes, thank you very much. I believe all questions have been answered today before we move into the next agenda. Yeah, stuff. So what is your advice for the youth, everyone listening to you at this moment? What will be your advice? What will be your good message to them? As a leader in the industry, the way you start, at least you started from somewhere and you are going global today. So what's your goodwill message to everyone listening?
Okay, Samuel, everybody is still, we're still growing. Okay, my advice to anyone on this call is um, to keep growing. All right, don't stop growing. Don't stop growing. Don't give up. So please don't stop growing. And don't actually give up. So there's a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities, and you have got a lot of potential. No matter what you might see today, it's actually not what defines you. So you are the one who to define situation. So just keep on going on, and don't stop growing. So that's actually will be my advice. Grow in knowledge, grow in influence, grow in your area of expertise, and yeah, you'll be a sensation for your to your world, and you become somebody of value. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate you for taking out this time to join us, to even dish out values to youth out there and to our students at Space Academy. Yeah, I really appreciate you, sir. So can we just type in the comment section our word of appreciation? We can just say thank you from the comment section before he takes his leave. Can we just say thank you? Yeah, that's Belo Abdullah saying thank you very much, sir, for the excellent presentation and answers. So let's say thank you. Those guests on board, you can unmute yourself and say thank you. Let's appreciate our speaker. Let's appreciate our speaker. All right, some are sending a private chat that thank you. Thank you very much, sir. From Javan. That's from Javan. Thank you very much, sir. That's Miriam Olatunji saying thank you to you, sir. Thank you very much. Then we have Adele Eroda saying thank you so much. The flying farmer. Yes, that's the alias, the flying farmer. So we have thank you very much, sir, from that's Joseph. Then from those guests on board also, they are wishing you thank you. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate you. All right, sir. So
Thank you so much.
yeah, from Esther, thank you very much. From Sharon, thank you a lot. Very informative, sir. So we just have it keep rolling like that.
Thank you so much for having me, and I hope that there'll be a lot of inspiring story out of this time. Yeah, I would love to actually. Thank you so much for having me, Samuel. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. You're welcome. You're welcome. Not welcome.
Cheers.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll be moving on to the next agenda. Moving on to the next agenda. And here is where we stopped at. Those are sharing their experience. Their experience. Oh, some of them have left. Some of the guests have left. I guess they're having issues joining, network issues joining. And Sharon, I believe Sharon is at work. That's why Sharon cannot speak at the moment. Sharon is at work. Okay. So Miss Sophie, can you hear me? Mrs. Sophie, can you hear me? Our network is still loading. Okay, Miss Sophie, can you hear me now?
Okay, Miss Sophie, can you hear me now?
Yeah, good evening. Yes, I can hear you.
All right, so go
Hello?
ahead. You were
Alright, so
sharing
go
about
ahead.
your
You were sharing
experience.
about
You were sharing about your experience so far. What was your challenge
Yeah.
and all? What would be advice for the next batch of students and all? So we are listening.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Sorry for the break in transmission. It's like I'm having a network problem over here. My experience so far was very interesting and educative. I learned a lot. Very, very. I want to say thanks to Best Academy for this program. Present the although it was tough for me being a worker. Hello, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello.
I
It
can
was
hear you.
tough
Go
for me
ahead.
being a worker. Okay, okay. Hello. So, doing this program, it was really educative. I learned a lot, and no, I'm still learning. One don't know it all. I learned the formulation of feeds, having construction of ponds, and the diseases about fishes, the symptoms and the cure of fish. Um, Other things like my advice for those coming from the batch two is to really keen to the program. Make sure you go to your WhatsApp, get the instructions, and do it very fast. That is why some of us, what I learned about some of us in this our own program, they were having problems in logging in because once they say go, the program is live now. They will not have problem logging in. Most of us, because of time, they don't go for it. Maybe when they now have time to go and do it, they will
Oh, I
not have
really hope you are
problem.
not losing me.
Most of us,
Anyway,
because of time, they don't go for it. Maybe when they now have time to go and do it. Hello?
yeah,
Hi.
continue. Continue. We can hear you now.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, yes.
Oh God. So you have to
Yes, we
really
can hear
key
you. Go ahead.
in. Okay, you have to really key. My advice, you really have to. Okay, you have to key in and follow the instructions. When you follow the instructions, you will not have problems. That is the basic fact. If you follow the instructions, you will not have problems. I learned a lot there. So presently, I want to go into aquaculture farming. Sorry, tilapia farming. I really learned a lot about tilapia here, and I want to go
Our network is really bad. I think that's the one that's been giving us quite some issues for our conversation flow through. So yes, she's talking about tilapia farming and all. Tilapia farming is one of the third largest farmed fish in Africa. I'm telling you, even in the world, it's the third largest. So okay, I think we have her back. So tilapia farming is the third largest in the world and is an hot cake for those that will go into it. It's an hot cake for you. You can go into the aspect of processing, value addition, and also go into the aspect of processing in the sense of the will say okay they can open back store And one amazing thing is that there are frozen centers now where you can just buy, you can just get a freezer, can get a freezer. There are opportunities, for instance, in Nigeria that I know of basically very well, is that they do empowerment. And from this empowerment, you can be lucky to get your oven to start your processing. You can be lucky to get a generator to power um, your, maybe you have a refrigerator where you can resell frozen either catfish or frozen tilapia. So a lot about that. Who is brand and okay, brand and tech lead? Okay, that's from our team. All right, so I think we have two people already shared their experience already, and after now we are going to be doing something which is called. I'm going to be sharing a link to everyone to join their community. I'm going to be having community for Kenya. We are going to be having community for Nigerian. We are going to be having communities for Tanzania, Uganda, and Sierra Leone, different parts of Africans that took this course. So when we start with this community, you can join and you interact with your peers, where you guys you come up with okay, what's the development in your own country and how you can leverage on that. So we need to do that a lot. We need to do that a lot for you guys to get better in what you are doing and still have a community that hold your hands together to win. So for those coming in the next and the second batch, I really hope you have listened to what these premium members have shared. They have shared with you their journey, and they have shared with you what you need to succeed. For instance, now your orientation has not started. We have the CEO of the platform in which you are going to be using, and I sent on the group that recently now, in the coming weeks, you'll be sent your own virtual welcome party link. You'll be sent your own link to. All right, I think. All right, she's not back yet. You'll be sent your own link to start taking your course, but then you need to be taking through some kind of orientations to know how to use the platform, to know that if you forget your password, there is high risk that you may not be able to what finish your scholarship. Number two is that the rules and regulations of the platform, the course rules that you need to go by. It was really tough for the first batch because you know they were not really finding it easy moving along the flow of the scholarship, really. But then they were able to catch up along the line, and that's very bravo of them. And most of them already downloaded their certificates. Can go on other social media platform. You can see, go on our LinkedIn page, go on our Facebook page, go on our Instagram page, and YouTube, and watch a lot of programs. You will see a lot of things there, of values that we have been able to pass on to you for the past 6 weeks. Go and rewatch them. For instance, this program that we had today, you have to go back and re-listen. There are a lot of values, there are a lot of questions that have been answered here. For someone saying that, okay, how can we get the answers to the question? Don't worry, after this session, it's going to be live. They're going to share the link back to you guys so that you can go and rewatch yourself. So that's that about that. I believe everyone is party time. So really, Javan, what did you have to say again? Did you have to say a message of goodwill to those coming in the next batch? So Javan, I'm expecting you to say something.
Sorry, you're asking?
Sorry, you're asking?
What will be your message of
What will be your
goodwill
message
to
of
those that you are preceding now? That you are preceding. What will be your goodwill to them?
Uh, for those that are finishing right now, the batch, yeah, the first batch.
No, no, not the first batch. Those are joining the second batch. What will be your message to them? What will be your encouragement? A word of encouragement to them.
Okay. So I will really encourage the people to finish up their course because it's something very simple to do. Uh, be very keen with the assignments. and they have to make sure that they chat with their colleagues in the peer group discussions in order to learn more. Yeah, questions asked at the discussion groups are also very important, and they may have further information, uh, mostly because they have not been captured in the training uh, by the tutor. Yeah, so that is it.
All right, so he mentioned a very cogent point that you need to note is that there are some of the values that you get that is not captured in the course. One, there are some of the values that you get that is not captured in the peer group discussion, and there are some of the values that you get that is not captured in the event. So you see that both the course, both the event, and the peer group discussions are important. So don't miss any of them. Peer group discussions, you get to learn other things from there. From the event, you get to learn other things from there, and from the course, you get to learn deep things from there. And also, we have sponsored courses that make you learn about how to go about business oriented um, way of approaching your aquaculture business when you look on starting. So, Miss Sophie, I believe you can hear us now. I still want to hear from you. You were saying something.
Network is giving me problem here.
All right, you can go ahead now.
Hello.
I think you are clear. We can hear you clearly. Thanks for joining, Abdul.
Okay.
We can hear you clearly.
What? Hello. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I don't know what
Fine.
is happening to. So, my advice for the new one, the newcomers. I really learned a lot. For the newcomers, please, when you are being given instructions, do it very fast so that you don't start having problems with logging in. I can't do my week one. I can't do my week two. You really have to. You will learn a lot. This program, wallahi, if I'm being given another opportunity, I want to do more. I want to learn more. I want to learn more, really, about this aquaculture.
You are
Ah,
adding the premium class, so you are learning more already. You are learning more
I
already.
want to learn more. I want to learn more, sir. Kudos to you people, sir. I really appreciate. I really appreciate. Thanks very much, and thank you,
You're
sir.
welcome. So,
Any other question?
Abdul, can
And
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Thanks for joining. So, we've been asking those in the VIP session to tell us about their experience for the past 6 weeks. So, what is your own experience? What did you face? Did you face any challenge? How did you overcome that challenge? Who was ready to help you at that moment? And what will be your message of goodwill to the second batch that are joining? So, just in a brief way, you can just give us that.
Okay, thank you so much. Uh, I really appreciate being part of this first batch scholars, and it was a great opportunity. Like most of my friends that are here. So the challenges, I think that I've been using some platform before, some online courses. So I was kind of okay using your platform. The only thing is, I think that around week 6 or week 5 or 6, they were kind of. There was one lady who was presenting the course. I realized that I wasn't very comfortable with her presentation more than the man that was presenting, but I tried to cope with her and follow the course till the end. So what I will tell the second batch is, they, like you said, since there is an orientation, they have to follow it so that when they follow the orientation, it will be easy for them to use the platform. And I'm sure that if they were able to use your platform, it can be easy for them to use any other platform because there is no difference among platform. So the only thing that I can tell them, they should enjoy it because it was nice to follow this course. Thank you so much and God bless you.
All right, thank you, Abdul. Thank you, Abdul. I think that's a very amazing one. So Yeah, you also made mention of a cogent point that during around week, I think it's week four, yes, week four, where the tutor, you said, most of them said the tutor was not loud enough and they were not comfortable with the teaching for that week because of maybe the flow of relation of the course. So we already taken that we are going to re-record the course. We are already doing that. We told the course tutor to re-record the course in case of the second batch so that they can have a flow of thought along the line. So the batch one experience, you are going to improve upon that so that batch two is
Okay.
going to have much better experience joining. So thank you very much, Abdul, for that. So I
Okay.
think we are going to be putting this party to an end
You're welcome.
actually because there's no song now. Who wants to play
Okay.
song for us? Who wants to play song for us? Javan, will you do that for us?
No, no, no. I'm not able to play a song right now.
All right. So thank you everyone for joining. I really appreciate the premium members of this batch. These are not all of you, of course, because the screen can only take 6 participants. So we can't have a quite numbers of you to join the screen. I'm pained that Esther, you were not able to share. I don't know, Esther, can you hear me? Esther, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
All right, so can you quickly share your experience for the past 6 weeks? We are almost rounding up, so I want you to speak. Can you share your experience for the past 6 weeks? And what will be your message of goodwill for the next batch coming on board?
My experience was awesome. Um, I'm not a student of fishery. I don't know anything about aquaculture, but sincerely speaking, my 6 weeks program has been awesome. I've been able to learn a whole lot about fishery, preparation of feed, and cultivation of agar and all, and fish from the lines of the fingerlings down to the bush stock and all that. I've learned a whole lot, and I'm so excited about all of this.
All right, all right. So what will be your message for the next batch coming on board? Or what will you advise them to do according to your own challenge for this first batch?
I will really advise them to calm down and don't have it in your mind for people that are into this already. Don't have it in your mind that I have known it all. Just calm down and try to learn from people and try to learn and relearn again. Like the first week of the program, the lady that took the right now was telling us to learn and relearn. Even though you have been in the field, there is a process of learning from people that have been in this field for a longer time. So, and people that are coming, and if you don't have any idea, just calm down. In the process of the courses, I'm going to be learning a whole lot of things because I remember we started learning from the part of the fishes. Because I just took my time, even though I didn't really know anything about them. I took my time, and I'm sure I even took to the extent that I even went to people's pond. I started looking at some fishes and trying to get one or two practical things and all that. So it's
Wow.
fun. I will advise people that are coming to learn and take that time and take this course. Thank you.
Wow, that's very amazing. Sincerely, that's very amazing. For the course to have triggered you to go to look for a farm and let me practice this. Let me check this that I'm being taught. Is it true? Is it real? Can this be possible? That's awesome. For someone that is not even part of the fisheries line and that can cause a trigger. I believe we can say that because it's very explanatory. Yes, very explanatory that even though you are not in the line, you are able to catch up easily. So thank you everyone for joining. We are going to be calling it a day now. And thank you all, second batch, for joining this call at this moment. I wish you all the best of luck. I wish you success. And for the premium members, we hope to do more together. Really. We hope to do more together. We have a lot of things in stock for you. We have mentorship around tilapia, those that want to go deeper into it. Have mentorship around catfish, those that want to go deeper into it. And if you are looking to start, you need consultation, call on us, chat us. We are there to help you. Maybe you don't know how to go about this, you are facing this kind of stuff, call us. That's why we are there, And we are planning on for our members, are planning on if we can be posting jobs on those platforms that are related to fisheries that you have come to take. We're also working on that for you. Of course, we have started from a farm in Lagos here, but then we hope to do more for you guys beyond you starting business. For those that are not able to start business, maybe they can start working in an industry. So thank you guys. I really appreciate you. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Abdul. Bye, Esther. Bye, Javan. Bye, Toluani.